So I've noticed with narcissists that people have a lot of misconceptions and don't really understand who narcissists are and why they are the way they are. And I finally just started feeling confident enough after my healing and my surviving narcissistic abuse to talk about it. And when I have been talking about it to other people, I noticed one common misconception that people have is that narcissists are confident. In fact, they're overly confident, is what people's opinions are. Nope, not at all. Narcissists are some of the most insecure people on planet Earth. I think people have this misconception because we've heard this definition of narcissism as someone that loves themselves too much. And there's this story, I don't know if it's a Bible story or where people got it from, but I remember it too, where someone was obsessed with their own reflection in the water, meaning mirror. I don't think they had water back then, so that's where the fable started. And that's people's definition of narcissism. They love themselves too much. No, the issue is they don't love themselves enough. So one study has correlated, sorry, I'm showing off my All Ice on Me shirt. All Ice on Me is my jewelry company. So narcissism, if you want to start way back when narcissists were babies, they're most likely the babies that were left to cry themselves to sleep, or the cried out method, aka the Ferber method. And this was really popular. I don't know if I want to age myself here, but this was really popular when our parents, like Generation X, were parents. This was really popular. And I think it created a huge epidemic of narcissists and sociopaths that are now adult millennials and some younger, or I think they're Generation XY, whatever, Z, whatever's, I'm a millennial, so whatever is younger than millennial. And then of course social media has turned up the notch, and it's because of the insecurities, not because they love themselves and they want to take selfies. They're trying to get validation. So narcissists are overcompensating for a lack of self-love and self-worth by basically manipulating other people to get this validation or love. But they have no empathy. They have no place for empathy for other people because they don't love themselves. If they had the capacity to love themselves, then they would have empathy for others and the ability to love others. But because they lack that self-love, they have no empathy. They basically just use external people, things, social media, stuff like that as validation that they are good enough. Basically to get the love that they never had when they were a child and always wanted. I hope that helps, but for example, with the cried out method, a baby crying because they need something and they need it, it's a real need, whether it's love, affection, or water, or milk actually when they're an infant, or food, or the diaper is overly full. There's something real that they need, and if they're just getting ignored, what it teaches them is that they're not loved. So you can see the dilemma there. Kids internalize. They never look at their parents like their parents are making the mistake, because their parents are someone that they look up to always. So they believe that they're doing something wrong to not receive this love. So the cycle of sociopath and narcissism starts. It's further provoked when their parents think that they're doing the right thing by teaching them lessons, which is basically tough love stuff. For example, let's say a teenager moves out when they're 18 years old and no one taught them a thing about money. Not a thing. No one in school taught them about money or credit. Their parents didn't either. So when they turn 18, they get this credit card in the mail and they max out credit cards. Their credit score goes to crap. and whatever else an 18-year-old does that has no clue about money. Then something may happen, their car may break down, or whatever the case may be, and they have no other way to get help except their parents. But their parents say, "You made these choices, so you need to fix them." Meanwhile, the child knows that they can help. The child has never received any advice or information about this before. So again, this is internalized as no love, as lack of love, or I'm not lovable. And so it adds fuel to the fire of narcissism and sociopaths in the most extreme cases. Lack of self-love leads to so many problems in the world. And it all starts with parents loving their kids and making sure that their kids feel loved, even if it's a different love language than what you have. You have to have attunement to know what your kid needs so that they feel loved, heard, and understood. If not, then they may be a future narcissist that terrorizes and abuses other people forever because they never see what they're doing wrong. They're the victim.